What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. Alright guys, for a lot of you players who are just joining on Steam, Materia is going to be a very daunting task to understand, so I'm going to do my best to explain to you guys the best strategies, how it all works, and what you want to aim for when you're building and synthesizing your materia, okay? So let's start with the very basics. First off, recipes. Where to get them, what they're all about, how to find them. Okay, so first off, story mode, complete that. You'll get yourself quite a few recipes. The rest of the recipes are going to be found most likely in the dungeons. Crisis dungeons are usually where you find a majority of them, whether it's normal or hard mode. Most of them are actually found in normal mode. So when you complete them, you're going to see these little books here. So let's just show you guys real quick what I'm talking about. These little icons. I can't show you I can't highlight them because I've already got them, but if you see these books here, these are materia recipes, okay? So your goal is to hunt down every single one of these recipes throughout every dungeon, collect them all, and then you're able to synthesize the materia associated to that recipe, okay? So very important to note that. Now, the second thing you want to note is in order to get material for materia, there's a couple ways to do it. Number one is going to be through solo content or co-op content. When you do enhancement quests in solo, you have a synthesis quest section here. You guys can go ahead and battle through this. Also get recipes here as well too. You guys can see one recipe there. There's a nice recipe. There's a lightning recipe, etc. Right? So each of these will have one recipe in the first battle you do. And then from there, you're going to collect yourselves the actual synthesis materia. For example, geocrystals are made for Earth. This right here is going to be geo ore for Earth as well, and then this here is going to be for enhancement purposes, and we'll talk more about this very soon. Okay, so this is where you're going to spend a lot of your time collecting the material required to do synthesis. Or the second section you can do this is going to be under co-op. So if you go to co-op mode, you prefer doing that so you can get co-op metals plus blue crystals along the way. This is a really good area to farm too, to get yourself a plethora amount of not only materia materials but other things as well. And you guys can see here bosses are dropping and you get yourself blue crystals, so I got to do all these, but there you go, there's some materia right there, and other materia drops along the way, plus you get yourself the opportunity to get yourself these blue crystals and the co-op metal. So co-op is highly recommended to do. If you have not done so, that's where you should start. The other place you will collect a lot more rare items is going to be in the chocobo section. So when you start getting into chocobos, you're going to have farms and places you can actually farm materia synthesis, whether it's the rare catalyst stuff or if it's just materials. So chocobos plays a pretty big part, so make sure you're always checking. So when you go on an expedition, for example, right here, we'll just show you a quick one. Collect all. You'll see each area will drop synthesis material, enhancement material. There's some more stuff there, and each one is different. It'll actually tell you what you can hunt. So there's going to be blizzard ones, there's going to be ones for physical chips, there's going to be ones for right here, which is going to be wind and fire, right? So depending what you plan to farm, chocobo can give you quite a few of the catalyst and required materials. And then lastly, the best place to get yourself some of the 5-star catalyst material in order to enhance for better substats and higher end materia is going to be through events and the shops that the events hold. So for example, if I go to the Holy Flames gift, this is a newer example, as a matter of fact. You can see here in this section right here, you're going to be able to collect yourself some of the existing 5-star catalyst plus other materia. Here the exchange shop also has some materia for you as well too. So here I'll show you guys an example all the way back and down here. Right here, right? So these catalysts right here, the 5-star catalysts. So this is the only places currently that you can get them is through events and through dungeon ranking. So these are very important to get yourself higher end materia. Now, once you've collected enough of these, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into the enhancement stage and you're going to start building your materia. So first off, the materia itself will come in many different star ratings, and every single one of them can be upgraded to a 5-star by luck, and it takes a lot of luck, by the way. So don't be surprised when you're doing hundreds of different materials and you're getting your first 4-star or your first 5-star. It's very plausible that you won't get your first 5-star after a couple thousand. It's all based on RNG, but there are ways to increase your chances. So when you're synthesizing, a couple things you want to note, and this is very important, okay? The sigil ones are considered your stat sticks. Okay, and what is a stat stick? So materia has the opportunity to get up to 4 substats. They can go flat substats or they can go percentage substats. Your sigils are going to be where most of your percentage substats will happen, and also another reason behind that is because it's cheaper to make these and it's a lot more time efficient. They only take about 30 minutes to about an hour for them to happen. Now, the way Materia works, you can see there's a recipe here, and these are the required amount of materials to make one. So let's go ahead and make one of these for you. Now, remember, Ruin is a magic materia. You can simply hold this down and see it says magic non-elemental damage, and Ruin Blow is your physical materia, so 200% physical non-elemental damage. Now, this 200% will be increased based on the star level, so it's very important that you understand star levels matter a lot for the amount of damage you put out. Sometimes a 4-star materia in the proper hands of a proper support weapon that has the plus 20%, whether it's magic attack or physical attack, can do more damage sometimes than some actual 5-star weapons. So keep that in mind. Materia plays a major role not only for stats but also for elemental damage. So sigils are going to be your stat stick. So let's go ahead and make one of these. Okay, so you can see here the X ones. As a matter of fact, any of these sigil ones require the night recipe. So you guys can look here. If you add materials, you can create one at 1 star and just synthesize it, right? It'll just take 3 of each and then just some gil. Or the best thing to do is when you start collecting this material, you want to push the envelope here and try to get yourself a 3+ star materia every time. So the way it works is these sigil ones all require the night synthesis materia. You guys can see here night, night, and night, right? So in order to make myself a higher end materia, I'm going to need to use these enhancements to get them through. So in the beginning, guys, you're going to probably want to use, you guys can see here using just 2 of these, right? 2 right there guarantees me a 2-star materia for sure. All right. If I push it further, right, and I go to 7 of these, I'm guaranteed a 2-star plus 2 guaranteed substats. That's still not enough. Okay. So you want to push a little bit more and go to the 10. And then here, the purples, you can push to do 3. Now, understanding something very important. The physical blow materials usually take more synthesis materials than the runes. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. This is a 2-star guaranteed substats times 3. Right now, look, it takes 10 and 3. Now, if I go back and I just do the regular ruin, right, rather than ruin blow, it does take a lot less. So for material purposes, you guys can see here, I can go up to 10 and 1 versus 10 and 3. Right? It is a pretty big difference in regards to how much less materials this does take. So you guys can do this, for example, and when you start getting into the night synthesis here, you guys can do exactly this right here. As a matter of fact, yeah, I think this is perfect. So 10, 1, and 1. Now this here will guarantee me a 3-star materia with substats times 3 guaranteed. This is the maximum synthesis. For the first little while, for you new players, this is out of the question. You will not possess this. So the way you want to push is you want to push this as much as you can, right? And you guys can still get yourself the maximum guaranteed by going 10 and 6. All right. I hope that's understandable. Everybody makes on the same page there. Now, when you do this, it'll increase the odds of you being able to get a 4-star and a 5-star. So I'm going to go ahead and synthesize this and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay. So here is 43 minutes, and instead of waiting for this, I'm going to go ahead. You can see here 43 minutes. Like I said, it takes up from an hour to 30 minutes usually for the sigil break ones, right? I'm going to go ahead and shorten this by using my bookmarks, right? You guys can use one there. I have 120. And now we get to see what the materia turns out. I'm going to collect this, and I got myself a 3-star materia with physical attack 1%, HP 1%. Now notice a few things. There's percentages and flats. Magic attack can in fact be a percentage. Heal can in fact be a percentage. These all can be percentages, but magic defense and physical defense can only ever be a flat stat. So never expect physical defense, P defense, and M defense to ever be anything but a flat stat, okay? Now, physical attack with 3-star materia, you're usually getting yourself 1% to 1.5, 1.6%. That's usually the top there. With 2-star materia, it goes from like 0.6% up to like 1%, and then 4-star materia go up to like 3%, and 5-star it goes even way higher, right? So now that I have this, let's say I want to build it. Okay, so what I'll end up doing is I'm going to go back to enhance, and I'm going to go ahead into my materia, and here in the filter, you can see here I have something called obtained. Put ascending or descending, depending what you're looking for, right? These are all my old ones. I want to do descending. These are all my new ones. So these are my new obtained ones. So this here you can see is the physical attack, HP, and M attack one, okay? So now I have 1 of 5. So this can go up to level 10. Now, after hitting level 5, you have the opportunity to upgrade this materia, which will give it a chance to go up not only in its damage, because it becomes Rune Ra, but also in its ability to be upgraded into a higher level tier materia. Now, in terms of leveling up, what should you do? What I normally do is I have a lot of fodder materia, 3 and 4 star, or sorry, 3 and 2 star fodder materia that has really bad stats, and I'll end up using those usually to just level up my materia. That way I'm saving the items. But sometimes it's better off just using items depending on how much of this you have. So you can use your fodder materia with bad substats and then use them to feed your new materia, or you can save them for future in case you decide to upgrade them for any reason at all. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and upgrade these. You can see what happens here. It gives you a plus percentage on anything that exists, plus unlocks the fourth substat. So we're gonna go ahead and enhance this. Now, if this ends up being a good substat, magic defense is not bad. We can see what we get here and see magic attack went up. So I mean, it's not the greatest substat, but I'm gonna show you guys what happens. So now when you upgrade this, you're gonna be using 10 and 10 of these, okay? So 10 void crystals and 10 of the magic tumble because it is the magic materia, obviously, right? When you upgrade, you have an opportunity to get yourself an upgrade not only in the stats, but also in the rarity. In this case, we did not get the rarity upgrade. You'll see it says rarity upgrade. In this case, it's level 5 Runera now instead of Ruin. So remember it was 200% damage before? Well, now if you hold it down, right, Runera ends up doing more damage. So if you look here, now it's 253% damage instead. Okay, so very important to note that the damage does go up when it does change into the higher end materia. Okay, so now it's up to you. If you like your substats, you can push to level 10 to see if you get some decent substats. If you don't like the substats, you leave this alone. It becomes a materia that you use for fodder. It becomes food materia, essentially, for your next one that you build. So that is essentially, in a nutshell, how you build and synthesize materia. Now, a couple things to note. Every single piece of materia does require different synthesis. So, for example, if I want to make fire blow for cloud because I only have a level 2, it does require the recipe, and then it does require fire and fire here, or fire and physical, sorry. And then you can see here, time is 150 minutes usually on average. Now, in order to add material to this, I need the dawn material, okay? So you guys can see here, I'm going to push this to 10. It's going to give me level 3, which guarantees a 2-star and substats times 2. Now, to go further, I need to push this to level 3 as well. You guys can see here now I'm guaranteed a 2-star with 3 substats. That pushes level 4. And then lastly, to push level 5, I would need a few of these. Or the smarter thing to do, because those are harder to get, is you push this as much as you can here, which is most likely going to be 10, and then 1. Okay, you guys can see here now, a few of these can go down, right? One of these can go down, and this can go up. Right, so this is the best place to do it. There you go. So 10, 9, and 1. So that's the setup for the blow materia. Now remember, the magic materia will take less. Now if I go ahead and add this and I synthesize it, right? Now you guys can see these are all the materials being used. The gil that's being used includes a 5-star rarity item, which is the synthesis here. Don't be shocked by that. Once you start collecting them, they're going to be there. So there's a myth. Not sure how true this myth is. I haven't found it to work. The more time a materia takes to develop, the more likely it is a higher end materia. Now look, if you see here, I can use 2 bookmarks. That gives me 20 minutes left. Normally I would stop here. I won't use 3 because, I mean, that's a whole 40 minutes wasted there. And for the sake of this video, I'll show you guys all 3 of them and we'll see what kind of materia we get here. Okay, so here we go. So 3-star materia with HP, magic defense, and physical attack plus 4. Not very good substats. So for me, this will end up being a food materia. So I would go back in here and resynthesize this yet again, right? And this is kind of how it works with materia. So all 10, right? We build there. So 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, add again, synthesize again, and let's hope this time we got 3 hours and 23 minutes. So I'm going to use 4 of these. Again, normally I would stop at 3 here, let the 23 minutes run out, do its thing, go off and do something else, right? But again, for the sake of the video, I'll show you guys how to do this, right? There is a 4-star materia. Now, the substats suck, but that doesn't mean it's useless. This is a fire blow materia. We may still be able to get the 4th substat to be a physical attack. So I'm going to go in here and actually try to level this one up. So here you guys go. Now, the reason why this is important, if you look at the materia, it's 220% physical damage, fire damage with 3-star. When you go to the 4-star level, it's 230%. Okay, so it is a 10% jump in damage. And when you build this up even further to fire blow, it goes even further in damage, right? So it's important to note the level of the materia, the rating, the 4 to 5 star rating, is a pretty big difference in damage. Now, when you apply the 20% more materia physical attack damage to this, it even makes it stronger. So it is important to remember some 4-star materia, even with crappy substats, are in fact useful to hold on to. Okay, so don't just use them all because the substats suck. It's still worth holding on to some of these because of the damage, the raw damage that they do in a lot of the fights for you. So we're going to go ahead and build this, and we're going to see there's magic attack. So again, the opposite of what we want, unfortunately, but we'll still go ahead and upgrade this just to show you guys the opportunity to get a 5-star if it's even there. And nope, we got Fire of Blow now. Now you can see Fire of Blow now does more damage, 264% damage. Again, not really good stats, but the damage will be there for you when you are using this as a damage dealing materia, especially when you stick it on to a 20% more physical attack damage. So remember guys, it's important to look at the percentages. It does actually matter. This will be pretty damn decent. If you look at a raw 5-star weapon that does physical fire damage, for example, majority of the times it'll be like 500%, maybe 400%, right? Let's find one for an example, okay? Let's go here. And let's just use, it's a free weapon, granted, right? Let's just use the Glenn's Fire Axe, okay, that you get from Ifrit. And I believe that one is a 5-star one. I haven't upgraded it at all. But just to show you guys an example of what I'm talking about here, let's go to default. Actually, not default, sorry. Let's go to filter. We'll just go to Glenn here. Just make it a little easier. But I just want to show you guys the example of how important it is to have higher end materia with higher stars, even with lower substats, because again, it does make a difference in damage. Look at this, 320% magic fire damage for this weapon. Okay, now again, this is not a good example because it's a free-to-play weapon that you get from Ifrit, but nonetheless, it still is an example of a fire damage weapon at 320%. If you take that 4-star materia and you toss it into a plus physical 20% support materia slot, that materia becomes that much stronger and very close to actually doing the same amount of damage as a 5-star weapon. So remember that when you're building your materia, don't just get rid of 4 and 5-star materia because the substats suck. The actual damage associated to that materia is huge, okay? Now remember also, every piece of materia you build is going to require different forms of synthesis material. I showed you guys a few examples. So as you go through this, you can check out the synthesis required, add material. This one takes Dawn, for example. I believe if you go on Reddit, there's an actual list that somebody created that shows you all of them. But you guys can see here, evening is required for thunder, etc., 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 right? So make sure when you're looking to build a specific elemental materia that you are hunting the proper items and the proper catalyst to make that materia happen, because the 3-star, the 4-star, and the 5-stars play a pretty big role in damage outside of being just substat sticks. Of course, finding the best materia possible is the goal. And you can see here, I'll show you my pride and glory here. My only 5-star on this account, by the way, actually, period, my only 5-star period is this one over here. I got very lucky with it. It was a Rune Reblow. I went from a 3-star to a 5-star when I upgraded. I got physical attack, I got magic attack, I got heal, and I've got HP. These two here are the most two important things in this materia that I got, and now this is my best materia. Plus it does 300% physical non-elemental damage. So it's no laughing matter here in terms of how much damage it does, plus the stats are incredible. So that's the goal. Now, a couple things to note outside of this. Any breach materia, any barrier materia can only go up to a maximum 5 level. Any Asuna can only go up to level 5. So they stop there, okay? So remember that once you get to level 5, that's it. You cannot upgrade the rarity outside of getting the rarity at an upgraded level right away. So just note that right from the get-go, okay? Cure materia, I believe you can push to level 10. Let me just double check. I think that's the case. I haven't made a cure materia in a while, but let's just look here. I'm pretty sure you can push it to level 10 though. There's Asuna, there's a cure right there. Yeah, if I wanna enhance this, for example, I can. Oh no, I can't actually. Can I? No, I can. Yeah, there you go. An upgrade. Now, cure materials require a lot of recipes. So not recipes, sorry, material. So keep that in mind. And also, before in the past, cure could not have HP or heal. Now it can. So remember that they've added that back into the game about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, where cure can in fact have HP and heal stats on them. Before they were not allowed to have them. So now they can, making them a lot more viable to build and also to actually use in battles. So there you guys have it. Hope this helped out. If you have any questions, let me know. I will be more than happy to answer it. If I miss anything, obviously let me know in the comment section. Materia plays a massive part in this game, guys. It's going to be huge for your stats, huge for your growth, and huge for you advancing in the game. This is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.